Rape. And I'm just laying there. And he doesn't even see that I'm crying. And I want to give a platform to other survivors to know that it is time to share your voice.
On this particular day, we were probably like maybe 6 or 7, and the victimizations are coming and they're going, and about 6. And me, I was the most, I guess, the unruly child. And this particular time, Davy had to go to the restroom, and Uncle had pulled her on top of him. And as my god sister comes to the door, she sees this happening. So me, I'm like, Uncle such and such pulled Vika on top of him because she's trying to go to the bathroom. Now, I don't know, my god sister, we didn't have the best relationship, but she told my sister, okay, go ahead, use the restroom, and you can come sleep in the room with me. And I was stuck and left there in the room with him by myself as a punishment. So the cool part about it was the next day when my aunt came and picked us up, I had enough. That movement made me speak up for help. And my aunt went ape shit like crazy. Called my mom because we were supposed to go shopping for children's shoes. And my mother went looking for him with a machete in her car. Like, she's gonna kill him. She's gonna like cut him off. And so we get ready to go to the rape center. They find blood, semen, tears, like everything that you can think of. And at the time, again, you're talking about the mid-late 80s, where HIV and AIDS was like, oh my gosh, the taboo, the stigmatism is crazy.
This particular weekend, I had been excited about visiting because usually I was very little and I couldn't hang with one of my god sisters. She probably was only maybe 6 years older than me or whatever. But because she was a little too young and I was a little too young, she couldn't really take me places. So when she got to high school, they gave her the okay to be able to take me around with her. And I just thought she was so cool. She was pretty and fly, and she had all the dopest clothes, and she just loved me to death, and I loved her to death. I wanted to be just like her. So she could swim, and I was a swimmer. So she would take me to the pool, and she would introduce me to all her friends as her baby sister, and look how cute she is. And I just thought she was the ish. So this one particular weekend, that's what we did. We went out, and she took me swimming, and then she took me to the mall, and she took me to, hang out with some of her friends. And I remember her tennis shoes. She had red and white Nikes, and I thought they were the dopest Nikes of all time. And I just couldn't wait to get my own pair. And I was like, I love your shoes. And she was like, when you get big enough to wear them, I'm going to give them to you. I was in heaven. Absolutely in love with her. She was the dopest thing ever. So we hung out the whole day. And that was my first time getting to do that, like hang out with her the whole day. And when the day was over, we came back to the house. And I had a ritual where I would get to stay up all night and watch cable. Because we had cable at my house. And even if we did, my mom wasn't going to let me stay up all night watching it. But my godfather worked nights, so he would always be gone. And before he'd leave, he'd set me up in the big chair in front of the TV with a big bowl of cereal. And he'd say, watch TV till your heart's content. Ain't nobody going to disturb you with your TV. So that's what I came back to the house to do. Only this time she was there. Usually she would be gone, hanging out, I guess, with her friends or whatever. So I was excited about getting to spend that much more time with her. And it was time for bed, and I slept in her room. And it would vary. Sometimes I sleep on the couch, sometimes I sleep in her room, sometimes I sleep downstairs with my other sister. But this time I slept in her room, and I thought we were going to do like girl talk. And instead, she was getting me ready for bed, and she told me to go get in the tub and take a bath, which is the normal routine, get cleaned up. And when I came out and I came back to bed, she had undressed, if I remember correctly, like from the waist down. and she issued or like initiated me to go down on her. And I didn't really know what it was, but I knew that it wasn't right. It was just, this doesn't happen, and I don't think girls are supposed to do this, and I don't think we're supposed to we're supposed to be doing it. But she was older, and I respected her, and I didn't know how to tell her no because, you know, I looked up to her, I emulated her, and she wanted me to do it, and I wanted her approval, so I did it.
What happened was after we left in the house, and you know, it started as a game of, you know, female cousins, older, much older, would make me you know, play games, you know, in her room, especially at night, or when my grandmother or, you know, whoever was my caretaker that particular day would be gone, and you know, she would make me play these games where I would touch her in certain places, and I don't know, it was like I was young, but I just knew it wasn't right. And so I remember, I think the 5th time she was trying to make me do something, I tried to stand up for myself, saying no. She beat me bad. And that's when the fear started. That's when I was like, I can't tell anybody. You know, I was fearful from, you know, my mom and my dad, you know, be a good kid. You know, and I was always a happy kid, so, you know, I didn't want to get in trouble. So I just did what she told me to. Every opportunity when we were alone, she would make sexual advances. Now, I don't want to go into detail because I don't want to gross it out, but it was really bad. She was very, very slick. She'll do stuff like, even if there was a family gathering, like she'd get, you know, like birthday party or something, like I'll walk by the bathroom, she'll pull me in the bathroom real quick and like, you know, kiss me or whatever the case may be, and like she'll maybe put my hands down, you know, private area, and then she'll like turn me out, like push me out, and I just be like, oh my god, what just happened? And then I gotta pretend like nothing happened. And, like she'll tell me, like, you telling anybody, I'll kill you. So, you know, I was a nerdy kid, you know, I had big old bifocal glasses and I'm skinny. So, you know, there's big, powerful women that could just toss me around like a rag doll. So I just did what she did.
I remember one Saturday evening, I went up the stairs and there were these columns that were by the bedroom door, by the entrance to the bedroom. And so as I'm opening the door, I felt somebody just push me. I flew to the floor, and I was terrified. I didn't know what was going on. It was dark. It was dark outside. It was dark inside. And I heard a click. I didn't know what it was, but then when I felt it on my temple, I just started praying. I was like, God, please don't let him kill me. I didn't know what he wanted, if he was trying to rob me, if he thought I had money because I'm renting this house, or what. I didn't know. And he told me not to scream or else he was going to shoot. He would pull the trigger, and he pulled my dress up from behind. I was still laying face down. I remember tasting my blood because I busted my lip when I hit the floor. Yeah, and he penetrated me. And I wasn't sure if he had on a condom or anything. I didn't know. But I just laid there and I was quiet and I was still. I just wanted him to finish and get it over with and not shoot me.
What really made me go inside of the gym room by myself was when one of the security guards that everybody know, she came to me and she said that, oh, did you do this to what's his name? Everybody knew him at the time. And I was like, no, I didn't do it. She said, girl, stop lying. I know you did it. You just trying to sit here and play like you didn't. All the girls do it. I was like, so I'm not like all the girls, so what does that even mean? You know, I don't even want to talk to you anymore. That's what I told her. She's like, that's all right, but do you want some gum? You get the joke? Yeah. And I was like, wow. And I just walked off. I walked off on her and I went to the gym room by myself and I just sat underneath the bleachers and I was just like, I just had my head down because I was just like, I really wanted to blow the school up. You know, I get so stressed to the point where if I start to think about doing like stuff to hurt people, and I know that's not how I am, because I don't even like killing flies, you know? It feels weird for me. And for me to think that way, I know that I'm really had it to the top with everybody, you know? So I was just there. And I remember a little boy that used to always bully me. Well, verbally bully me, you know, just pick at me for no reason. He came, check underneath the bleachers. I don't know why, you know, because I didn't know there was other students across the bleachers that were skipping, you know. And he came, checked over here, and that's all I remember. And it was 3 football players that came underneath the bleachers with me, and they all raped me.
There's these treats that they sell like a tart, like a cake-like tart, and it's like strawberries around the box, and it's like a plain cup tart. Every time I see it, it would trigger me.
Oh yeah.
Just when I see it, or when we were
Winn-Dixie, just so they Winn-Dixie.
yes, or when we would
Even the little Debbie cakes too.
yeah, I'm at the Rape Trauma Center. Wait till I get to that one.
Oh, yeah.
Like the certain songs, "I Am No Casanova," "Me and Romeo Ain't Never Been Friends,"
And that Keith Sweat song.
and that Keith Sweat song, "Make It Last Forever."
Oh.
Every time I hear those songs, it triggers that moment of us being scared and heading to the rape center.
And it's weird because I spent a lot of time without these memories, and I like literally forgotten that this had happened to me. And then they came back, and there's so many things that attach to it. Like I can remember the smell, and it just kind of blew me, remembering that smell and being able to attach it to that memory.
Right now, I'm 41. I don't have kids. I was like, what's wrong with you? Like, you should have kids. Like, you don't even look your age. Like, why you don't have children? Just intimacy was the last thing on my mind. When you get raped for like 6 years straight, you don't want it. I think that played a major part because when I got married, my wife she cheated on me, and it's like now I'm answering that question. Like right now, this interview, I couldn't get closure. I'm like, why did my wife cheat? Like I was a husband, I took care of her and her son, and I had 2 jobs. What was it that I was not doing? And I just answered that question like right now on the show. I just got closure. Wow. And that was 8 years ago.
And so I felt worthless. I didn't want to live. I used to pray that God would just take my breath, like I'm wasting air. Somebody else needs to be breathing this air. Somebody else needs to be walking in these shoes. Like I can't do it. And so when this thing happened to me, it was just like, here's just another thing. This is gonna be my life. I just felt like this was gonna be my life. And I locked myself up in the room. I let my electricity get cut off. I had an eviction notice and I was just trying to die. I just let myself up, I was trying to die.
That made me more aggressive towards men, period. Like I don't, like, when I feel like, because there's a lot of boys in there, when I feel like they're like playing a little too rough or a way I don't like, I get really defensive, you know? And if I feel like they're trying to like overpower me, like how I felt at the time, like I was overpowered like by all 3 of them, you know? They were strong, you know? I like get really aggressive in the face, like I'll get upset. And they would wonder why I get upset, but they don't know, you know?